Welcome to Wisdom Teachings with Dr. Amanda Love. Today's topic, utilizing imagination. Utilizing imagination. Our imagination is the most potent creative tool that we have. It far surpasses any mechanical device or conceptual knowledge we have in regards to bringing forth our creations into this world. Without utilizing our imagination, we simply create the same things that are known to us over and over again. We then wonder why things look, feel, and behave the same way, or why our patterns seem to never change. What we often fail to recognize is that everything that is created has been imagined by someone at some point in time. Imagination is the birthplace of all creation and the seed to transformation of all existing forms. Part of what caps our imagination is that we have beliefs that say that only X, Y, or Z is possible. Anything outside of our current beliefs is deemed impossible by our mind, and if we stretch too far, it's just called fantasy or made-up non-reality. But what if made-up non-reality is just the future of what is to come into creation? I'd imagine that the person who created the airplane, the first MRI, the cell phone, the computer, and on, had a hell of an imagination. They would have had to because they brought into existence creations that previously were uncreated. Whether we are tapping into the collective unconscious and connecting with information contained there, or if we are simply making it all up in our minds, we are bringing forth novelty into form. This is the power of imagination. Now, it doesn't stop at imagination. If you want to make physical your imagination, then there is work to be done. Without the work, imagination is just wishful thinking. Physical manifestation requires output. It requires taking action on what you envision, desire, and dream of. I find that people are often either wonderful Imagineers but lack follow-through in bringing their creations to life, or people are great doers but don't feel like they have much creative potential. It can be easy to fall into thinking about stuff incessantly without following through on it, and equally easy to constantly be doing stuff without any time given to imagining new possibilities. This is, after all, how we up-level our human experience. The most important and key ingredient here is that you have to believe what you imagine is possible. You don't have to know how to do it, you just have to believe that it can be done. I find this to be the bridge between imagination and action. One of the overlooked areas is how we can use our imagination for self-development. The same principles from above apply, however, we utilize them in a more internal way. Rather than focusing on something we want to create in our outer environment, the focus shifts to our inner environment. What new aspects, patterns, or ways of being do we want to bring to life? We can develop and recreate ourselves over and over again. It's unlikely that you possess all of the same characteristics that you did when you were 6 or 16 or 26. Perhaps some things feel the same, but much has been altered, added, or upgraded. How we most often change aspects of ourselves comes through experiences that we have. We learn through experiences, and over time, we develop different ways of thinking, seeing, and behaving. For most people, it seems that this process just happens. What I mean by this is that most people are not actively pursuing change just for the sake of it, and because they see everything as already perfect in themselves and their existence. Rather, life seems to give us experiences, and then we develop through those experiences. One of the cool things about imagination is that it comes prior to our experience, not after it. Imagining ourselves in novel ways and changing our identity and the ways we engage with life can come before we have an experience that kind of forces us to change. We don't have to wait for life to hand us experiences in order to up-level ourselves. We can simply choose to do it through using our imagination. Once again, there will be need to follow up with actions, and the fundamental belief that we can change is the foundational block that allows the entire picture to be built. You might be wondering, what does all of this look like? Well, it's really not that complex. It just starts with imagination. What do you desire, envision, and dream of for yourself? How would you like to feel? How would you like to be perceived or seen? How would you like to behave, act, or be? Some of us are very good at doing this, and for others, it feels more challenging. The challenge comes because we often feel like the same person because we are generating the same thoughts and feelings about ourselves. This gives us the illusion of sameness and/or solidity in our identity. However, nothing is solid and everything can reorganize the energy of its form. Therefore, your identity is malleable. As you begin the process of envisioning your most optimal configuration of self, see where your impossibility beliefs arise. Maybe you come up with a few things that feel alterable, but some that feel unalterable. Simply take note. Go to the edge of what your mind will still accept as possible. This is where you can play. If you perceive it to be impossible, then you will have nowhere to go and you won't take action on it. Therefore, go to the edge of possibility and then start taking actions in alignment with whatever it is you come up with. For example, maybe one of the things you desire is to feel joy. The obvious action to this would be to activate more joy in your daily life. Perhaps you want to become more intuitive. Take actions that align with you in ways that you feel would help you bring your intuition to life. Maybe you want to be seen as powerful. Take actions that align with you feeling powerful. This might mean changing the way you dress, how you drive, the places you eat, where you shop, the tone of your voice, the things you have in your house, and on and on. This is a process, but with imagination and action, you can become anew over and over again. You can recreate yourself and all of your patterns. Nothing is solid or fixed, no matter how long you've been operating that way. Nothing is irreversibly ingrained.